everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Viper Part 2, we completed the whole build. We did this whole bottom contraption and we did the handle. A little bit tough with the contraption there. You saw what happened, but took our time. We just retraced, did our outside again, and it was okay. So take your time. Even if you mess up, just stop, remeasure, and you're gold. So, since we finished that, that means in this episode, making an EVA foam Viper Part 3, we're gonna seal it and we're gonna paint it. After we're done sealing it and we jump into the paint, it's gonna be all brush work. We're really only gonna mask off one spot because the whole thing's square. So we're gonna be able to use our square edge of our brush and trim in everywhere before we paint. A lot of colors though, and it's gonna be fun, not hard. So if we're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, now before we go outside and seal this with Plastidip, let's give it a once over to tighten it up. Let's seal the whole thing. Alright, there we go. Tightened up. This baby's ready to seal with Plastidip. Let's go out and hit up the spray stand. Alright, here we are out at the spray stand. We're going to coat our Viper with our Plastidip, and do not spray even outside in a well-ventilated area without your respirator. Alright, there we go. Nice and easy. Took our time. Hit it from a bunch of different sides. We've got several coats of Plastidip on here. Looking good. Look at that. Pretty cool. Alright, let's let this thing set up and dry all the way through the coats, and then we're going to paint it. Okay, we're going to start painting. Shouldn't be too hard. We're going to come in with our medium gray. Just like that. Now, because we didn't really Dremel any edges off on this thing, and we got pretty much square, flat edges everywhere just because of the style of this thing. So we will be able to come in without any masking, just like that, with the square edge of our brush. That's what we're doing, just like that. Now we're just going to come in, we're going to keep going around the whole piece with the square edge of our brush. Alright, there we go. That's simple. The whole paint job should be this simple because it's just a lot of square edges. So we're just going to come in just like that with our brush. We're going to square edge the heck out of this whole piece, just like that. See that? Really easy. We're just going to go in and we're going to trim in with the square edge of our brush all the way around. Our little clip back here coated all the way around, nice and easy with our brush, and we've got our nozzle coated up here. Now the steel gray, which is a lighter gray. Okay, now some of the bigger areas we can come in with the sponge brush so we can cover a bigger area faster. Alright, there we go. Look at that, just keep going. It's okay if we got paint all around it. We're going to cover those places with the next color. We just want to get a nice solid coat, so that's looking good. Now we're, like we said earlier, we're going to do 2 coats on every color. Okay, there we go. We've got 2 coats of the medium gray, and we now have 2 coats of the really light gray, which is called steel gray. Actually, that's 3 coats. So you just take your time, you coat it, let it dry, coat it again, and now we've got nice solid coverage. All right, now we're going to let those dry, and then we're just going to keep moving on with the colors. All right, now we've got our wrought iron. It's a dark gray, kind of has a little bit of blue in it. Use the square edge of our brush, just like that. Look at that. Nice. All right, there we go. We've got this whole inner body section and up around here done with our wrought iron. All right, there we go. We've got the wrought iron all along in here, around this little band, up in this detail area, down in here again. And we've got our handle done with it. So that's 1 coat of the wrought iron. We're gonna let everything set up there, and we'll probably, I don't know if we need a second coat on that. Maybe we will. We'll wait and see. All right, now we're gonna come back in and we're gonna hit this top section with our medium gray again. We forgot about that. All right, there we go. 2 coats of our medium gray right up around here on both sides. Pretty nice. We got a couple little specks on our wrought iron right here, but we can touch that up real easy. All right, we're going to be moving on to the next color. We're going to go ahead and hit this top piece with some silver. Get our silver all along the edge of this piece. Square edge, love it. Now we're going to come in with our sponge brush, because it seems to put down a flatter color. We don't get any brush strokes when we use the sponge brush, so we're going to All right, there we go. Sweet. We got our silver down. We are looking good. Holy cow, really nice. I don't see any issues. Oh, there's a tiny little spot there with our steel gray. All right, there we go. Got our medium gray all around the top here. We've got our silver. Wow, we are starting to really shape up. And we went ahead and we put in our wrought iron around our stripes there, up on the little edges of it with the square tip of our brush. All right, looking good. Okay, now we got our medium gray down here on this bottom piece that we forgot. We've got one coat on there. And while that's setting up, we're going to come in with our black. That's it. Just like that. All right, there we go. We've got our black inside that edge and inside this edge. Now our piece down here has dried, so we're going to come back in and we're going to hit our second coat on it. We got a second coat of our medium gray down there. All right, so now we're going to mask off a stripe around the end of the barrel. So we're going to wrap right around the edge. Okay, there we go. Now that's not what we're going to mask, but we're going to use that so that we can put where we do want to mask. All right, so we're going to use that right there, and then we're going to line our tape up here at the front, right along the edge of it, and we're going to follow that around. Now, there like that. A piece. All right, there we go. That's why we did it. All right, now we're coming in with our French wine, which is... All right, there we go. All right, when we can, we'll come in with the sponge brush, and that gives us a larger area to cover. And when we can't, we'll come in with the brush. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit these gray stripes. And we'll just go back over them afterwards. Let's get our sponge brush in here. Yeah, this is a lot better coverage with the sponge brush. So we're gonna go ahead and ignore the gray stripes. So we're gonna hit them with the red and not care. We'll go back in and cover those afterwards. All right, there we go. That's a lot better. Yeah, that gets a really nice solid coat. After we went over it with a brush, we went over it with the sponge, and that really gives us a solid coat. So we might as well do that. That might as well be our plan, is we'll come in with a brush, and then after the brush, we'll come in with the sponge. All right, there we go. We've got one coat of our red down everywhere. Now we're gonna go over it with a second coat. All right, there we go. We drew our pattern for our stripes right there. It's those two white pieces of paper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring these two pieces of paper down to our pieces of painter's tape, and we're going to make templates for these. So all right, there we go. There. All right, we're going to come in with our bus yellow. Sweet. What do we got there? Got a little piece of residue from the tape. We'll get that off. Sweet, look at that. Really cool. All right, let's do it over here. All right, there we go. See that? We got inside the yellow edge right around in here. Now we're going to fill this in. And then when we do that same thing over here on this side, we're going to let all the yellow dry and we're going to go back in with a second coat. All right, there we go. We've got one coat of the yellow down. Now it doesn't matter if we hit some edges, we'll go back in and touch up. Be as clean as you can, but you're always gonna have to go back in and do a little touch up. So we'll let this dry, we'll put a second coat on there so the yellow's solid, and then just a couple little touch ups and that'll do it. All right, there we go. We've got all of our colors on it, multiple coats. We did all of our touching up, so that any little specks of color that we got on other pieces have been cleaned off. Not bad. Wow, really cool. All right, so with that final painting detail, that brings our Viper build to a close. All right, there you go. That easy. Besides masking off the barrel right here, the whole thing we just did by brush. Sponge brush, but mostly the square edge brush. And because this thing has got square edges all over the place, it was easy just to cut in everywhere around the edges and then fill it in. And do multiple coats. That's pretty much it, man. That's the story. Sealed it, cut in with the square brush, and filled it in. That was it. That concludes making an EVA foam Viper Part 3. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Look at that thing. Thanks for coming. See you next time.